Brian Bice wants to know, Rusty, what's your opinion of the end of the nationwide race last Saturday?
Well, I ended up with a wiped out car because of it.
Right.
And my opinion was it was just hard racing. It was just one lap to go. They're going for it. Logano just flat got off of turn 4. He got loose. Carl got real close to him. Carl never touched him. He got about a foot from him. And when that baby got loose, he recorrected it, and he clobbered that wall. And I've never seen a car like this, Joe, come off the wall. And at the right time, there's Clint Boyer, and the thing goes on its side.
Yeah.
And what we wipe out, 10 or 15 cars?
Yeah, it was crazy.
And Rudeman, my other driver, he barely got through and finished 5th. And Steven was running 11th coming to the line, and he slid across the line, all crashed up when he got hit in the back by the 88 car because they were all trying to stop. And I'm thinking, oh, man, he's got it cleared. That's good. And all of a sudden, I see the 88 drive through the back of him. I went, oh, man. But Eric couldn't do anything about it either.
Right.
So it was just a dramatic crash. But I would say one of the most dramatic things I've seen was the 33 car at Clint Boyer upside down, and his spring flies out of that car and goes all the way down pit road and hits his own 33 car crew member.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The guy got hurt, too.
Yeah, I understand he's doing okay now. But
I hope
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I saw him come by, and his leg was all wrapped up, and there was quite a bit of blood coming out of it.
Yeah, that was crazy. N2 NASCAR 0910 wants to know, is there an opportunity at all for Kenny Wallace to race for you? And I wanted to ask you about Kenny anyway, because this is his 500th nationwide career nationwide start coming up.
Yes.
And he's now made, I think, 855 starts across the top 3 series. That's pretty incredible.
That's a lot, you know. And to tell you more about that, last year Kenny was really down in the dumps. He's driving for a car that was basically almost a start and park car, not putting much money into it. And I kept thinking as his brother, like, I know he's a lot better than that. And we put some funding together for him, and I ran a 3rd car, and we took him to St. Louis, and he flat flew. He qualified good. He ran top 10 throughout the race, and the kid got out of the car so excited he couldn't see straight. And it kind of really invigorated his career. And he put a great deal together with Robbie Benton and also with the corn growers and numerous different sponsors. And he's been flat flying this year.
Yeah, he's having a good year.
It's really brought his spirits back up, and he proved that he can do it. But it was good that we were able to run that 3rd car last year at St. Louis just to prove to him that he could. And it really showed a lot of people that he could. Because we had the Illinois Corn Growers Association on that car at St. Louis last year when he ran so well. And after the good run, it just shot through the whole country that Kenny's kind of back. And so it was a good deal.
Well, and it's interesting because I remember talking to him at Richmond last year, and he's like, I get a little upset sometimes because people, they just think of me as the guy on TV, the guy on speed, and he's made 855 career starts. So.
Yeah, see, him and I disagree with that, though. I mean, I think he's great on television. He's hysterical. You know, Speed Channel is a totally different format than ESPN's. We're real serious guys. We're real tight on the reporting. We really enjoy what we do. Kenny's show, the particular show he does, it's all about having fun and all about laughter and all that, and he's like the best guy in the world for that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love what Kenny does. And so I tell Kenny, I said, man, wouldn't it be great to be good at multiple things? You're a good driver, you're a good broadcaster, you're a good personality, and you're a good person. I mean, don't get upside down because everybody doesn't think you can drive and all they think you can do is TV. You know in your heart you can drive, and now last year with that race in St. Louis and this year he's proved he can do all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He certainly brings a lot of energy to the show.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. And he wears me out just watching him.
Jessica Hall-Hess writes in and asks, would you consider getting back in the driver's seat, even if it's just for charity?
Yeah, I would. If it was just for charity and ESPN said, hey, it's okay to get back in a cup car, run a race or two, yeah, I'd probably do it. I'd want some practice. It'd take me a while to get...
Well, they're not going to let you test.
Well, they're not going to... No, forget it then. If they're not going to let me test, then I'm not going to get in a car. Look, I'd want to get in there and, you know, I start getting my exercise routine going again, get some laps in the car and get my speeds where they need to be, and then I'd go for it.
Well, you could go to Rockingham and test or someplace like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess you could do that, you know.
Yeah. Trina Munson asks, what is your most memorable race?
My most memorable race, oh my gosh, let me think about that. I've had quite a few, but I'll tell you, one of the most dramatic races that I've ever had in my life had to be at Michigan. Well, my first win, that's a real memorable win, no doubt about that. But talk about a real radical race. It was in Michigan. They just repaved the racetrack. and the racetrack kept tearing up during the race. It was really rutting up, and it was going bad. I led the race most of the race, ran out of gas. As soon as I ran out of gas, the caution flew out. I come down pit road. Buddy Parrott, my old crew chief back then, started squirting starting fluid down in this little hole to refire the motor. When it refired, his belt buckle caught on the hood hinge. It rolled Buddy down pit road, busted his glasses off his face and all that. I restarted 12th, and we had 12 laps to go. And I kept passing people. Coming on into turn 3 on the white flag, checkered flag waving, coming into turn 3, Dale Earnhardt's leading the race. I drove underneath and passed him and won the race on the last corner. And it just completely wore us out. We were disappointed because we thought we had it wrapped up and we didn't. It was funny after the race seeing pictures of Buddy Parrott's hat on sideways, his glasses all busted on sideways, and me looking in the rearview mirror watching him roll down pit road. Real dramatic race.
That's good stuff right there. Susan Wright Mitchell asks, after you sold your number 34 on Barrett-Jackson, did you buy another car?
Yeah, good question. I love going to Barrett-Jackson. It's one of my favorite places to go to in January. I sold 3 cars there so far. I sold my 33 Ford 3-window, which was a beautiful, beautiful hot rod, and I got great money out of it. Then the very next year, I built a special car, and I took it to the Goodwood Festival of Speed for NASCAR to celebrate 50 years of the Daytona 500. It was one of the cars I raced in the 500. And it turned out absolutely showroom quality. It was a beautiful, beautiful car. Brand new engine, all this. And I raced it up the hill, they call it, over in England. And we put a good show on, brought the car back. I took it to Barrett-Jackson, sold the car there at Barrett-Jackson. It was a big hit. And then this year I built a special road course car. Solid black with yellow flames down the side of it, brand new engine, brand new brakes, just a beautiful, beautiful car. And I told the person, whoever bought this car, I'm going to come to your track, I'm going to drive this car and set it up for your track. We did that. Me and a couple of my crew guys and Steven took it to Lime Rock, Connecticut. We ran it, got the car flat flying. Steven said, gosh darn, Dad, this has got to be one of the fastest cars I ever drove. Because we sent the car there without a tapered spacer. So it's a brand new engine making about 900 horsepower. We took all the lead out of it, so the car weighs about 3,000 pounds. And it ran like a rocket ship around Lime Rock, Connecticut. So we got it all done, and we told the new owner, I said, here you go, it's perfect. He gets in the car, makes 10 laps, and drives it wide open through a chain link fence and destroys it. So now the car is back at my shop being put back together. But he was a great guy, and that's a beautiful car that got sold at Barrett-Jackson also. So we're thinking about what to take back there this January, so we'll come up with something.
Well, whoever buys his next car, be careful with it.
We haven't took anything to Barrett-Jackson that hasn't been just showroom quality stuff, and we put a lot of effort into it. It's been fun.
Well, I think that guy should probably get that car and just kind of park it, you know, or maybe drive real slow.
He was very embarrassed, and I felt bad for him. He said, how fast can you get this thing fixed? I said, why, what's going on? Is this kind of like you taking your dad's car out and wrecking it and trying to get it fixed before he knows about it? He goes, yeah. I said, okay.
Jimmy Skinner asks, I have to ask you, will you run down from the broadcasting booth to join Steven in victory lane the next time he wins?
Yes, I will. And we've talked about that, you know. The guys from ESPN would love to see that happen, you know, and they have no problem. But, you know, first of all, I'd probably talk back and forth to them on talkback from victory lane or something, from the booth or the pit studio or whatever. And then when my duties were done, then I would run down there, which it all happens pretty quick. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, a neat story that I know you've heard before. Ned Jarrett, when Dale won the Daytona 500, and he felt so bad because he was kind of rooting for him in the broadcast booth that he went and later apologized to Dale Earnhardt for doing that. And Dale Earnhardt said, "Hey, I'm a father too." So you can play kind of both roles there.
That's a great. I remember that because we played that interview on ESPN at one of our countdown shows, and Dale was emotional. I mean, Ned was emotional about it, and I don't blame him. And what was pretty cool though is seeing what Earnhardt said. He kind of looked at Ned like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
I'd do the same thing, man. Don't worry about it.
It really set Ned at ease, I think.
That's great.
And it you know, kind of gave
well,
a little bit of insight into both of their personalities.
Now we're on that subject. You know, there's a lot of people coming to me and say, what's it like being a broadcaster and looking at your own son down there's got to be hard. I knew coming into this game when I went to work for ESPN, I can't show any partiality. I got to call what's out there, and I got to use my expertise as a driver who's won a pile of races to tell the fans what I think's happened in my opinion, you know. You're never going to catch me saying, look at my kid, look at my own son. Now, Dale Jarrett, Randy Petrie, or Marty Reed, they'll pick it up and talk about it. They know when it's time to do that. But, you know, it's just not right for me to do that, no matter how bad I want to do it. Now, if they ask me a question, then I'll give them my answer.
Right.
But, you know, I got to be impartial, and I am. And I constantly, you know, make sure I do that because I want to do everything fair and the right way because I understand the role I'm in with ESPN, and I'm grateful to have this job.
As a matter of fact, Steve won the very first race ever at Iowa, right? The ARCA race, is that right?
He did. Him and Juan Pablo Montoya had just a whale of a shootout in the ARCA race at Iowa, and Stephen won the inaugural race at Iowa. Yeah, that was a great time. That particular year, I think he won 5 out of 7 ARCA races. He won Chicago. He won, you know, there. I'll never forget this dramatic race that he had with another guy, with Juan Pablo again, when Ganassi had him running the ARCA series at Talladega. They run 1-2 the whole time. So watching Steve come up has been a fun time. Watching us struggle with this new car is not a fun time.
Yeah. Well, you're going to